Good morning. Continuing my look at the 706 type phone, or the clones of it. Here we have a bit of a mystery actually. When I say a mystery, it's to do with the actual cover and the name that's on it. But we'll come to that in a minute. The phone we show, I think, is probably correct. We'll turn him over and see it's this number, Tel 1K ATS. Well, that number is by GEC. It was their private system phones, which they used on phones called the Reliance Telephone company, which they use. Now the funny thing is, this phone, as far as I know, was wired up exactly the same as the GPO 700. You've got your terminations there. Also, this one shows, if I can point it out, is the little resistor across there on the ringing circuit. Because these bells are 500 ohms, so it's 1,000 between the pair, so they increase the resistance on the ringing by putting that 33k, I believe it is. Yeah, and it's strapped as you would normally strap. They use a bit of wire to put that strap in, but no problem there. The little red device there, if I can point to it, is an anti-click. It's wired across the receiver, and any loud clicks, really, hopefully it cuts out so you don't get acoustic shock. That's on the rocking armature receiver. The resistor at the end here appears to not be in use. Both ends are terminate on there, so that is redundant at the moment. The rest of it, as I say, is normal 706 type phone on the plastic base, which means it's hardwired, which you can see. Not as tidy as some of them, but nevertheless it does the job. You've got a nice plastic dial with the little arrows or chevrons, or whatever they call them. So that part, I would say, is virtually as a 706, but this is obviously made for a private system. The little button up the top here has got on and off, so that's presumably for the bell circuit. Turn the bell on or off. Also, those with keen eyes, you'll notice the lack of the regulator. It could have been provided with a regulator, but look, instead the blanking out part of the regulator has been replaced by a single strand of wire which has been soldered onto the clips, and it's cleverly soldered, so I'd say that has been done by the manufacturers, whereas this phone was obviously made for a particular application, which leads me to think, is this cover which came off of it, I'll be honest, it was the cover that was on it. It's only numbers, as you can see. It's once again hardly had any wear. Turn him over. You've got a diagram. Now the diagram is obviously stuck on, and I would say that is the correct diagram for this cover. Whether it's the correct diagram for the rest of the telephone, I don't know. There is a reason I say this. There's no indication of name on that diagram at all. It would obviously fit the phone, so it could be correct. Now let's have a look at the back of the phone. Up to recent, I'd wondered what this CS means. It's not something you come across regularly. I believe I've seen another one of these for sale on eBay. CS. And by pure fluke, looking through numbers of the Ericsson's phones, that they mentioned this company, and it stands for Communication Services, in brackets CS. So, and I can't get any more information of this at all. It did say the phones made by Ericsson's for this company or operator didn't have induction coils in it. They were made without the induction coil, obviously to cut the cost down. They will work without an induction coil, but not as efficiently. This phone, as you can see, has got an induction coil. So, did this group or operator CS buy telephones from Ericsson plus GEC? Don't know. It's a mystery. Anyone else knows, let us know. It'd be interesting to know about this. Oh, and one was saying about things, I had a bit of a shock. I was looking through, I don't always do this, I should do, the comments made on my other stuff. And the person was quite annoyed and saying that I had deleted his comments. Well, it was obviously a complete mistake because I didn't know anything about it. And it appears that YouTube, for some unknown reason, and don't ask me why, deleted the comments put in by this other gentleman. And of course it looked bad on me because it looked like I had done it and I hadn't. But it's all been sorted out now. It might have been something to do with putting a link up to another group that YouTube don't like. So there's a mystery there. So at least it's all okay. We got, as I say, standard receiver. I haven't taken the inserts out because they're the standard types. You've got your rocking armature and your modern, at the time, type of transmitter. Not the electronic one, still carbon, but not the top hat type. That gives you an idea of the age. This phone's actually in very good nick. The dial being plastic, yeah, all right. I like the metal dials, but kind of everything. The plastic dial. What else is on there? What else can I say? I think that's virtually it. So I thought I'd pop this one up. Tomorrow I expect... Tomorrow brings back memories. About sad memories, but it definitely brings back memories. In fact, I was my age. In 1953, I was only a kid then, and as we all know, there was a coronation there. I didn't even know what a coronation was at that age. But anyhow, my neighbours at the time invited my parents and myself into their house next door to view the coronation. I'd never seen a TV before. Well, I'll tell a lie. They weren't things that were very popular. We didn't have one. I know my father said, oh, they're a bloody waste of time. I must admit, some of the programs they put on now could well be a waste of time. Anyhow, it was interesting because the build up to this coronation, which was supposed to be quite a good thing or quite a big thing, was going to be televised over, I think, 3 hours, was it? I'll be quite honest, well, being a kid, and just sit watching that, it was, to me, not particularly interesting, but I did watch it. But anyhow, the running up to it, remember in those days, TVs had very small screens, and to make them bigger, you could get a magnifying glass that fitted over the front of the screen. It was made of plastic, which you filled with distilled water rather than tap water or rainwater, so it didn't go green. And that you would fix to the front of the screen to make it a bit bigger. And at the time, colour TV was unheard of in those days. Remember, 53. I was born in 44. So what's that? I'm not very good at maths. I think it makes me about 9. But anyhow, Woolies, or FW Woolworths as they were called, sold a sheet of, it was coloured. It was a sheet of 3 colours in like a band. What that was supposed to do, I don't know. But they said if it was put in front of the screen and then the magnifying screen in front of that, it would give you the effect of a colour TV. Well, it was obviously a gimmick, but I can remember. Who else out there remembers this? I know I'm showing my age. So it was quite interesting. So tomorrow, obviously, I don't know how many other people have actually going to see 2 coronations, but I can say yes, I've seen the one in 1953 with all the pomp and what, all right. As a kid, I'll be honest, it did bore me to tears. I didn't really understand it, and but it did it was in my mind, and I thought, well, tomorrow I'll probably have a little look at how it's going on. So I won't be doing any YouTubes tomorrow, so we'll put this one up today. Anyhow, thanks again. Also, the comment on one of my plant ones, gentleman who was inquiring or saying how the seedlings were coming on fine. The large plant which might have passed away, I hope not, was a Fockia crispa. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to sprout out again. It might do, it might not. But one good thing is my 2 tree ferns. They are starting to push out a new frond. Not leaves, they're fronds as they're ferns. So I might have got away with it and might not have lost it. So here we go. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Any comments please make. If I've forgotten anything or put anything up wrong, there we go. I also note that this case is not a Diachron case. It's got a number on here. If we can show it. Don't even know where it said it now. Oh, there we are. That number there. And that refers to the later version. And don't ask me to pronounce the name of the product, but it's quite a long name, and you'll find it obviously in the if you look under Bob's phones, the British Telecom. You'll get that number and also find what that name is. It's quite a long name, but it's not Diachron. But it's quite a nice case. But once again, I'd be very dubious about knocking it about because it look as if they are quite fragile. Anyhow, that is all. I'm going to shut up now. And I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea. I'm also going to go down the greenhouse. Yeah, no, I probably sent you all to sleep. Anyhow, sorry about that. Let me just show you that. My capacitors, which I'd ordered from China, they've arrived. But actually the capacitor which I thought was faulty isn't. So these are all spare. But they're ones that are suitable for the bell circuits. And should be okay. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Thank you.